Okay, now comes the tricky bit, making sure you get all these in the right order. Bolt goes through first, then the first of the spacers go through, then the motor goes on, then the second spacer, bolt goes right through, then you get the washer and the nut on the end. Could you slowly lift the back of it up for us? Keep on lifting. Yeah, more.
I'm going to say 5 minutes.
Yep. Alright. Can I have the two 13 mils? Okay, what I'm doing here is just tightening up all the nuts now, and then it's off to the other side. We'll put the other motor on, we'll just extend it out, put it all in place, then we're ready to test. Can't wait, it's going to be hot. What we're going to do here is Brett's just going to power up the motor. I've just put the bolt through to stop it from spinning, and we're just going to extend it all the way out, so if you will, kind sir. So you can imagine this lifting a boot lid, a bonnet, a audio amp rack. A what?
Plasma screen.
Plasma screens, doors,
Joe.
Seats. You can motorise Joe, yeah, if you want to, you can motorise Joe.
I really want to motorise Joe.
Okay. That's it.
I mentioned they've got self-limiters in them.
And for those that don't know, the motors have got self-limiters for the up and down travel as well, which are fully adjustable from the back of the motor. Up. Up.
Wow.
What we've done to run the wiring through, we've just removed the side covers here. We've also lifted up the fuel tank cover. We've got the wiring just temporarily run to the motor, so before we get it all locked into place, we've just put a couple of bullet terminals on. We're just going to do a few adjustments, make sure she's all sweet, then we're good to do the final wiring, and this is good to go. So we're just waiting for Brett to terminate the other side, and we're ready for our first test. You nearly ready for your test?
I'm nearly ready for my test.
Cool. Okay, with both motors fully out, a little measurement to make before you do anything. It's just from the start of the actual actuator to the eye of the actual bolt. So we go here. I've got, what do we got? Here. I got 335 mil. So I'll just get Brett to check the other side for us.
335 mil.
They're the same height.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this thing should be right to go. That should now open all the way. It's hard. Beautiful. Well, there you have it. Motorised Tonno lid kit from STREEKA, supplied through Australian Custom Imports. And mate, these things are so universal, they're beyond a joke. So many different uses you could do with these, and yeah, if you've got a creative mind, you can get carried away. So we're just going to finish running the wiring through where we need to, and this thing's good to go. So yet another great brand from AKI. Keep up the good work, guys. Hope you enjoyed Insane Hands. We'll see you next time. What we're going to do here now is show you how to adjust the motor. Brett's going to take the motor off for us. Thanks, Brett. I'll get out of the light. Okay, now we look how to adjust these motors. If we take a closer look here, I'm going to give it a big zoom in. Okay, looking carefully you can see the texture mark up here. What we do is we can pull that down and turn it one tooth that way, or one tooth, or quite a few teeth. Every tooth that you turn is an extra centimetre of travel in time. So what we need to do is we're going to wind this in.
We want to bring this in 2 turns just to pull down a bit on the tonneau lid, just to really tighten it down. But to compensate for the length we need, we actually need to wind this out by probably another 2 centimetres. So we want to go 2 teeth.
What we're trying to do here is get the tonneau lid to hold down better, and in order to do that we need to bring the motor in further. To bring the motor in further, we need to wind this in, but only wind it in when the motor's in. If you wind it in while it's out and you overturn it, then as the motor goes all the way in, it'll bottom out and try and spin on itself. So only wind these in when the motor's compressed. And on top of that, once you wind that in, you then have to adjust it down below here as well. We just lift it into shot there. So you can see there's a little texture mark out of factory once you pop these little black covers off. There's just 3 little screws, and all you do is you pull that down and adjust it 1 tooth. You'll see there's a little cam lobe underneath. That's just your timer basically. Once it hits that, it'll stop the motor from spinning. So we just, because we want that to go out a few more seconds, we just pop that down, turn it 1 tooth. 1 tooth will give you an extra centimetre of travel. So alright, let's wind this in.
We'll wind that in. It's 1 turn, that's 2. That's brought it in about a centimetre, so we probably want to now adjust this out 1 centimetre.
So just 1 tooth forward, and that's it.
So you can see now the little texture mark is now offset, and you can see that's wound out by 1 more tooth.
So now we can put this back in, make sure it moves up and down correctly, because what we want to do is when the tonneau lid comes down, we want it nice and hard. Don't want it to flap around, but we don't want it so hard that it's going to rip the brackets out of the lid itself. So we'll try this back in and see how we go. Done. And once you're finished, hit a button, and then she comes again. Beautiful. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Laters. Well, that wraps up this week's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on Insane TV. Ciao! I'd like to remind you about joining our Facebook group. Just search for Fat Audio Concepts, join, and chat with other car enthusiasts. Leave questions and comments and feedback for either myself or Brett, and we'll do the best to incorporate your feedback into the show.